Being a stylist has never been more rewarding, but it's also never been so complex. As hairstylists, we often forget that we are working in a multi-billion-dollar industry. The beauty industry is growing faster than ever, and there's so much left on the table because stylists aren't taking the time to understand business. I'm Melissa, your host. I'm a $1 million salon owner, a six-figure stylist, and founder and CEO of Sierra and Sage Extensions. And I'm here to help you understand how to bring business to beauty. Welcome back, everybody, to our wonderful podcast. I was MIA for 2 episodes or 1?
2 episodes.
2 episodes, yeah. Been a busy gal, which actually kind of ties into the topic that I wanted to go over today, which is work-life, schedules, all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. We got a lot of crazy stuff going on here at Sierra and Sage, some really new and exciting things for 2026, but I think it's kind of driving us all a little bit nuts. For sure. So the idea of scheduling and working and, also giving time to yourself is very much on the brain lately.
For sure. And it's kind of not happening for me because on top of everything happening over here, we're also remodeling my salon. I feel like I'm still getting in the swing of momming and all of that takes. And Hannah's now 10 months old. She's crawling. She's growing so fast. And yeah, it's just crazy to even try to get work done at home anymore is impossible. So I literally have to separate work and home life 100% at this point. So, which is honestly not a bad thing.
No, it's good. It's
good.
It's kind of one of the, we'll talk about it more, but sometimes it's the best thing for you is giving yourself that balance. But right now, with the way life is, it's a little hard to remember that.
Yeah, definitely. Life has been crazy.
And then it's the holidays too.
Yeah, holidays on top of all
happening.
That. Yeah, I know. And my brain is literally just scrambled eggs at this point. But yeah, I wanted to kind of talk about scheduling and, really, I feel like it's such a thing in our industry that a lot of people go to beauty school because they think I'm going to work for myself. I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to make my own schedule. I'm going to have all this flexibility and all this freedom. And it's that's true. 10 years in, not day one. Mm-hmm. So, I was actually just talking to Emma about this. I feel obviously at the salon, we work with a lot of new stylists. Coming out of school, we have our assisting program. They go through the program. They go behind the chair, all of those things. And thankfully, we have a super busy salon. And so our stylists are literally essentially booked solid straight out of the assisting program, which is unheard of.
And this is a commission salon as well. So
yeah, exactly. And so, we give them a schedule and we have them work a specific schedule. And it's funny because I give them, naturally I give them nights and weekends, A, because they're new. But B, those are the busiest times in the salon. So I know you're going to get booked at those hours, which is why I schedule you at those hours. Yeah. But then, 3 months in, they're like, well, I'm booked all the time and I'm doing so good. I don't want to work nights anymore. I don't want to work weekends anymore. And I'm like, okay, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I wanted to talk about this subject because it actually happened, recently with one of the gals at the salon. Love her dearly, but she's like, I'm so exhausted and I'm working all these nights and I would love to have a Saturday off and I don't want to work late nights anymore and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I get that, but you've been behind the chair for a year and you're not there yet. You still have to work up to that.
Yeah. And I was telling Melissa, I've noticed a little trend in the beauty industry. As a lot of you know, I am not a licensed cosmetologist. I just work with Sierra and Sage and in the sales department, but I talk to a lot of new stylists at beauty schools and the trend is definitely leaning more into suites. And, I used to have baby stylists asking me all the time, where should I work? Do you have any recommendations? Are there any salon owners you know? And nowadays they just don't really even care because they just know they want to go to a suite. And it is interesting because really in any business, but especially the beauty industry, you kind of got to start from the bottom. You're not going to go into a job 100% fully booked all the time. You always kind of have to start at a place where, you're learning, you're growing, and the difference between just I guess regular sales business versus the beauty industry is that you kind of have to grow that experience yourself, which I think can be a little trickier for people.
Yeah, for sure. I think any seasoned stylist, including myself, when I hear a baby stylist in beauty school that's I'm going to graduate and I'm going to go get a suite, I always want to be the supportive, seasoned stylist, but at the same time I'm like laughing because I'm like, good luck, girl. You know what I mean? Like, good luck to you. And that's not saying that like no one can do it. I'm sure that there are people who do it, who can do it and who are successful at it. It just, I feel like so much goes into it. It's like, okay, do you have a huge network of people who are supporting you? Do you have financial stability at home, or are you financially responsible for yourself? Like, all of that stuff kind of goes into it. But like, hands down, if you're financially responsible for yourself, you have any bills whatsoever to pay for yourself on your own, whether it's even just your car payment or the gas in your car and the car insurance, but you still live at home, or if you live alone or you're wanting to move out, don't get a suite. Like, you're not going to make any money. I'm telling you that right now. Like, and it's not to be a dick, but you're not going to make it. I'm sorry. I think not.
Yeah, I definitely think we're not here to just straight up be like, don't do this thing. Because, there are stylists out there who can get a suite right out of school and be really successful. I just think it's important to pay attention.
Far between.
Yeah, that is true. But but it is important to just like take these things into consideration, because again, it almost feels like a trend to me in my perspective, where I'm like, okay, what is going on? Why is everyone so obsessed with like their own suite and wanting to do that? And you don't want to just follow the trend because that's what all your friends are doing. You want to make sure you have all of these like foundations and bricks in place where you can afford it. If you're having a really slow month, you can afford this and that. You can do these things that are going to help you continue to be successful.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, like about going into it and going into a suite. And I think that a lot of the mindset with the trend, honestly, and as stupid as this sounds, but I feel like a lot of the trend is that people are excited to like decorate their own space. And it's like, okay, girl, once the decorating is done and like the bills start rolling in, like I feel like reality sets in and you're like, okay, the fun part's over. And I feel like that even same goes for me as a salon owner who's ironically going through a remodel right now. I love designing our space. Like, I love redesigning our space. I think my favorite part over the years with both businesses is creating a work environment, and it's so fun. Like, at this point I probably should have just been a designer instead, but I love it. I love doing my house. I love like creating spaces and things like that. But at the end of the day, like, that's not your job. Your job is to be a hairstylist. Your job is to create and generate an income so that you can support yourself. And especially in my case, like if you're redecorating your business all the time, you're literally eating away at your revenue. And so that's something to kind of consider, and take into consideration. Like, all of the money that I'm putting into the salon right now essentially could go into my pocket. You know what I mean? Sure. And so that's something to think about when you're working for yourself. But then the other thing that ties into it, and I think why it's a trend, is the schedules thing. Because if you're going to come and work in a commission salon like mine, I'm going to give you a schedule. And it may not be a schedule that you like, but I promise the reason why I'm doing it is because it's a schedule that's beneficial for you.
Yeah.
Right.
I do think, again, like coming from just a perspective of having worked a million different jobs, retail, food, now beauty industry, again, it's kind of that start from the bottom mentality where, you may not like it at first, whether let's say you go to a commission salon, they give you the schedule. Let's say you do get that suite. You are going to have to work all the hours all the time, even when you really don't want to. But again, like, I started, my very first job was like retail. It was awful. Worked at 1 a.m. on Black Friday until like 3 p.m. the next day. Pretty awful. But now I'm here at Sierra and Sage. This is, my 4th, 5th job. I've gained experience. I've moved up, and now I'm working 32 hours. And it's beautiful and wonderful. But at the same time, I am still kind of almost working 40 hours because, the job never stops from a sales perspective. If someone's texting me on a Sunday, I answer that call because that's like how I'm going to make my money. So same thing for baby stylists is you kind of have to like answer those calls, so to speak, so that you can make the money, get the clientele, and then eventually kind of shift and make it work for you.
Yeah, I always laugh about that because I feel like when you're a baby stylist first starting out, you're building a clientele, you kind of have to be a yes man. So like, I always laugh because I've straight up heard like beauty schools sell students on this. And first of all, that drives me absolutely insane. I feel like beauty schools are part of the problem. I'm sorry to say that. It's true. Like, I feel like they're part of the problem of creating this culture of hairstylists that think they're just going to like walk in day one and like run the show. You know what I mean? Like, you're at the end of the day, yeah, you can open your books certain hours because you work for yourself. But if a client texts you and says, hey, I want a full install tomorrow, are you going to say no? No, you're going to show up because you want the money. So are you really working for yourself and creating your own schedule? No, your clients are creating your schedule. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like schedules are such a huge thing. And at the end of the day, whether you're working in a suite, you're working in a commission salon, you're working booth rental in a salon, whatever the case may be, like schedules are so important. And if you're going to work like your dream schedule right out the gate, chances are you're going to fail. Like, I'm just being completely honest. Like, statistics in the beauty industry are terrible for success rates. Like I think I want to say it's like 30%. I haven't read the statistics in a long time, but I want to say it's like 30% of beauty school students don't even graduate. And then another 30% of those that do don't even make it a year.
Wow.
And then like another 30%. So basically like 3 people that you graduate with are actually going to make it. You know what I mean? Like, the statistics are awful. And I do feel like part of the problem is, like I said, beauty schools are selling people, or the industry as a whole, we're selling people on like this false narrative. And it's like, yes, you can eventually get there. You can work your dream schedule. You can have this amazing clientele. You can have an incredible income and have that flexibility. But it takes years of groundwork to get there. Mm. And I feel like the newer generation of stylists, like, they're trying to just skip that and jump right over it. And they do a lot of things better than like people my generation, of course. Like, they're better with social media. They're better with marketing. They're better at all of those things. But at the end of the day, being available to your clients, working in a busy salon, working with a team of people who can continue to teach you and like you can continue to grow, those are all key factors of like actually being successful.
Yeah. I definitely think like it's important if you're a baby stylist, or maybe you are just a stylist who's been doing it a couple of years, but you're feeling like at a standstill. I think these are just like the things that are going to be important to like consider, you know, like, are you putting yourself out there schedule wise? Like, are you making sure you're available? Are you also putting investments into your education? Again, that kind of takes a day away out of your schedule, you know, where what would have been your day off might be a class, but that's going to help you grow. It is definitely like just growing pains, essentially, where you're going to, in order to grow, you're just going to kind of have to go through this rough couple years of putting yourself out there every single day. You know, not to say like make sure you're taking care of yourself and your mental health and all that, but the reward is going to be such a bigger payoff if you're putting your work in, grinding super hard, and then eventually you're like, okay, I'm at a place now where yes, I can take a Saturday off every other week, or yes, I can like just get rid of Sundays completely. So the payoff is going to be much greater if you're like working hard and doing the thing right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to say, just as like a disclaimer, because I feel like a lot of times being a commission salon owner, people feel like I have like this, like, I don't know, notion of like booth rent sucks, working for yourself sucks. No, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I understand that certain situations and scenarios are better for different types of people. And I also would like to say, because I'm talking about schedules and working and all this stuff, like, all of my employees only work 32 hours a week here and at the salon. So I am absolutely not like, it's not a sweatshop. That's not what's happening. Everybody's only working 4 days a week, 32 hours a week. That's like my thing, because I do believe in healthy work-life balance. However, like, those baby stylists first coming out of the assisting program, they're absolutely working like until close every single shift. And every single Saturday. Like, that's a non-negotiable for me. And honestly, that just comes from years of experience too, because I have had people come straight out of the program that are like, their moms or whatever, you know, and they're like, I can't work past 5 because I have to get the kids from daycare. And so I do offer flexibility in that way. But 100%, like, do those people grow as fast as the people who can work nights and weekends? No. Not even close. Like, the difference is honestly drastic.
Yeah.
And so that's why I just wanted to talk about scheduling and how important that is. And really, like, putting in the work, like you said, putting in the work, putting in the time, and just saying, okay. And even like you said, like, even your last job that you had before this, like, you had crazy hours during the holidays because you guys would have holiday parties and things like that. And it's like, but now you're at a point in life where you're like, okay, my life is shifting a little bit. And that's not working for me anymore. And like, I feel like that's kind of where I'm at in life now too, with a little one at home. And I'm trying to balance being a present mother and being present in both of my businesses. And it's challenging. I've had to cut back. I've had to scale back. I've had to miss podcast episodes. I've had to, do things. I can't be everywhere at once. But I try to do my best. But I definitely put in years, probably more years than I needed to, of working till close, working those weekends, and always being here. I feel like I basically lived at the salon for at least the first 7 years. I feel like just in the last few years, I've gotten really good about being like, okay, I'm stepping away. there's other people to help me. Like, I don't have to be involved in every single thing. But that can be challenging too in itself.
I think really what it boils down to in terms of scheduling is like, what is it that you want out of your career? Because another thing we kind of touched on, we were talking about today's episode, was there are stylists out there who still have to work 2-3 jobs, you know? And obviously there's nothing wrong with that. If you like making that money and you are cool with it, do what you want to do. But if you are like set, like, I love hair, I want to do hair, I can't wait to quit this retail job or this bartending job, like, I can't wait to do hair. It's another thing of like, just like taking a look at yourself and your schedule and what you're doing, because the only way you're going to be able to, you know, do hair full time or get that success and hit those numbers that you're trying to hit for the year is going to boil down to your schedule for sure. And so, you know, obviously you can start small and just like start adding days, and then eventually, like, hopefully you're making that money and you're like, great, I can quit that other job. Now I can like do this and life is good. And so it's just like a thing of just reflecting on like, what is it you want? What are you trying to do and how can you do it? And again, it might just require more hours, but it'll pay off in the long run.
Yeah, I think really it boils down to like a simple math equation of like, does your current schedule match your goals?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Or not?
Exactly.
And then one other thing that I want to touch on with that, because I have had this conversation with people in the past, and like the kickback that I always get is like, well, then I build a clientele of people who are like nights and weekends, and like eventually I want to drop those. So then what? I have to build a clientele all over again? No. Like, trust me, I've been there, I've done this, I've seen several stylists in the salon do it. Your clients will straight up tell you till they're blue in the face that they cannot come in during work hours. I can only come in on weekends. I can only come in after 5. The second you drop that schedule and you say, hey, unfortunately, I'm not working these hours anymore, they get real flexible.
Yeah.
Like, they get real flexible. I've had clients who were like sticklers about that. And then when I dropped Saturdays, magically they were in my chair Monday at 11 a.m.
Yeah. They love you more than they love their job, probably. And they love the work you're putting on their hair. They love the way their hair looks.
Yeah. And then it's like all of a sudden I can take PTO or whatever. You know what I mean?
I can make it, yeah.
But yeah, it's funny because I was afraid of that for so long, and that's just not an excuse. And that's not to say that like every single client is going to be able to make that shift with you. But that's okay. The whole point is that you're building a clientele as quickly as you can to get to that point of success as fast as you can, so that you're financially stable, so that you can start to shift into that dream schedule. And it should be a slow shift. It shouldn't be like, oh, okay, finally I'm booked solid. I'm switching all of my days to be off at 3 p.m. That's not going to work out well. It needs to be like a gradual shift so that you can start kind of filling in the gaps where you do lose clients with clients who are available at that new schedule. So if it's all done strategically, in the long run, it all works out and it all pays off. You know what I mean? So I just feel like I said, that math equation, if you're struggling behind the chair, or even you're about to go behind the chair because you're just finishing school, I think that you need to have that conversation with yourself of like, do your goals match your schedule? You know what I mean? Because they really do go hand in hand.
Yeah. And things can change like all the time, whether that's your schedule or, like we were saying, if you're in a suite right now, maybe you decide you want to do an assistantship at a commission salon, or maybe you just want to do booth rent so you have those team members around surrounding you. Change is a good thing. And so the same thing with your schedule. Maybe changing your schedule is the thing that you need to like make that change in your life financially and to get you towards your goals a little bit faster.
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest thing is just realizing like, yes, this industry is incredible. It does offer a ton of flexibility. I was just talking about that the other day. I'm so grateful that I get to have as much time with my daughter as I do, because I have that flexibility. And the same goes for all of my employees. You know what I mean? Like, I know kids are probably in your future, not immediately, but in the not too distant future. And that's something that we've talked about, is that you're happy to know or see that you're going to be able to have the flexibility to like still have a career and still have that, like, keep that part of yourself, but have children too. Yeah, definitely. You know, and so there are so many wonderful things about our industry, but I do think that people need a little bit of a reality check when it comes to like when you've earned the right to do that, I guess. And it's not day one. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it, really.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we say it all the time, you know, if you're a baby stylist and you're not sure what to do, reach out to us too. You know, maybe we can like give you some pointers. Maybe we can kind of lead you in the right direction. And then again, like, just keep an open mind, especially when it comes to, it's your future. If you want your future to look as bright as you imagine it to be, you know, you just got to keep an open mind. It might be hard work for a little while, but it will pay off. We promise, for sure.
Definitely, yeah. I love having these conversations with new stylists and seasoned stylists, honestly. I think that, you know, a lot of us come from different backgrounds and have different perspectives. And I just love having, like, intelligent conversations about all of these things and just the things that I've learned over the years and, like, what works, what doesn't work. And I think for me, the proof is in the pudding. I do it every day at the salon. We literally specialize at this point in growing baby stylists into successful stylists.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think even having, like, our long-term stylists that have really grown and done so well, and they are working those dream schedules, and I've, you know, literally kind of helped hold their hand along the way to get them there. And so, you know, whether you work in our salon or not, I love to have those conversations and kind of share my knowledge with all of that to hopefully make our industry better as a whole. So, yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Well, I guess that's it.
Yeah. Fun news from Sierra and Sage. We will be at Premiere Anaheim in February. So if you are going to be down there, send us a message. We'd love to meet you. And then obviously if you, again, like, have questions, want to learn about us, want to meet us in person, we will be there February 1st and 2nd in Anaheim. We'll also be teaching a class on February 1st that at the convention. So definitely come say hi to us.
Yes, and I think, what is our booth number? 1122?
I think so.
I think 1122.
If it's not, I will put it right here.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 1122. But yeah, come see us, come take our class, meet us, have conversation, whatever you guys want to do. Check out our product. We would love to see you guys.
It's going to be a ton of fun. We're also directly across from House of Foils. So maybe you can get some cute foils, come talk to us, get some cute tinsel or something.
Definitely.
Maybe some new extensions. We'll see.
Yes, we're going to have all kinds of fun stuff going on at the booth, and we would love to meet you. So come see us February 1st and 2nd.
Yes.
Very exciting. But thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Bye.